Hi guys, today I wanted to do a quick video on some of the modifications on my Africa Twin. I'll start with the most important one, Barkbusters. These are, I believe, a must-have, especially if you're doing any type of off-road. Whenever you drop a bike, these take about 80% of any impact. Before any of those plastics or sides here get touched, that's where the bike leans on. So that's definitely a must-have. Behind them I've got foldable brake and clutch levers. Again, these are very nice. Even if for whatever reason the Barkbusters were to bend up like this, these basically can fold away, so you're not risking breaking them. And also a little benefit is they are adjustable here, both sides. After that we move on to crash bars here. The ones I've chosen are Heed. Very good value for money, and they protect most of the bike as well as the engine. So what you'll find with the others is they don't necessarily cover the engine case here, so they might cover the plastics, but the engine case is always at risk, and obviously that's one of the most expensive parts on the bike, so you want to protect that. Another thing on my bike are auxiliary lights, so extra pair of lights that I've added here. Now the way I've got them wired is they can either be switched on constantly with the standard light like this, or you could have them so they are off and they only come on whenever you switch the high beam on, so like this. And that's usually how I have them running, because they do get in people's eyes. The way I've adjusted them as well is they shine quite high, which is very useful in corners. So whenever you lean the bike, you are missing the light that's basically shining high rather than low and sideways. So that's the way I've got mine. And they're also obviously fully adjustable. Another mod before I have a proper skid plate, because I've only got the stock one, is I've added this little plastic flap from AliExpress. Great little modification. It stops a lot of the mud and rocks flying in here. So that's a very cheap little add-on you can add to your bike. Definitely worth the $5 or $6 I paid for it. After that I have a lithium-ion battery. Now the main benefit of this is obviously weight. It reduces about 2.5 to 3 kilos versus the standard battery, which is obviously beneficial, but also it's got a better oomph, should I say, to get it started. It might not have as much power if it comes to having your lights on for long when the bike's off. However, when it comes to the actual initial power to get the starter moving, it's got much more power. Windscreen. The windscreen here, I've replaced it with like a metal one. I just think it looks better, and I have an extra windscreen here which is fully adjustable, so you can basically tilt it as you want it. And that again gets some of the wind off my face to the top of the helmet rather than directly in my face. Also, if you look in here, there is a voltmeter with a USB. That's obviously for charging my phone here whenever I go for longer rides. The last modification here, which is good for comfort, is this little thing. They call it the Batman. It's mainly because it looks a bit like the Batman shape, apparently. It basically stops some of the wind going into your helmet. It's very useful when you have an off-road helmet with a peak. If you've got a standard helmet, it barely makes any difference, but if you have one with a peak, it stops some of the wind going this way and hitting it in a way that you get basically turbulent air. And I believe that will be everything. Thanks for watching.